The sound I'll never forget wasn't the traffic below the bridge. It was my daughter's breathing, short, panicked, uneven right before everything stopped. In that split second, I saw fear in a way no parent ever should. A clipboard clattered to the concrete. A woman screamed about rules. And my autistic daughter stood frozen at the edge of a bridge, confused, overwhelmed, and inches from danger. What that woman didn't know was that I was already watching. And that I was a county sheriff. I'm going to tell this story calmly because rage isn't what brought justice that day. Control did. My daughter, Lily, is 12. She's autistic. Brilliant with patterns, sensitive to noise, and terrified of sudden confrontation. She also loves routines. Every Saturday morning, we walked the same path, from our apartment, across the pedestrian bridge near the community park, to the small bakery she adored. Same steps. Same order. Same peace. That bridge was her favorite part. She liked stopping halfway, counting the cars below, not because of the cars, but because counting calmed her. I'd stand beside her, close enough that she felt safe, far enough that she felt independent. It was our routine. Our quiet victory over a world that rarely slows down for kids like Lily. That morning felt no different until it wasn't. We just stepped onto the bridge when I noticed her shoulders tense. Her fingers started tapping against her jacket zipper. A sign. Overstimulation. I scanned around, already preparing to guide her breathing. That's when I saw her. HOA Karen. She wore a bright vest with the neighborhood logo stitched proudly on the chest. Clipboard tucked under her arm. Phone already recording. Her face had that expression, tight smile, narrowed eyes, the kind that mistakes authority for importance. "Excuse me," she said sharply, stepping directly into Lily's path. Lily stopped. Sudden stops are hard for her. Unexpected voices even harder. "Rules say loitering isn't allowed on this bridge," the woman continued, louder now. "This is private community property." I stepped forward immediately. "She's not loitering," I said calmly. "We're walking through." Karen glanced at me for half a second, just long enough to decide I wasn't worth acknowledging. Then she refocused on Lily. "You need to move," she said. "Now." Lily's breathing picked up. Her eyes darted from the woman to the open space beside the railing. Too much input. Too fast. "Please," I said, firmer this time. "Back up. You're overwhelming her." Karen scoffed. "Disabled or not, rules apply to everyone." That word, disabled, landed like a slap. I placed myself between Karen and Lily, lowering my voice. "Ma'am. Step back." She didn't. Instead, she tried to maneuver around me, reaching toward Lily's shoulder as if to physically direct her away. That's when everything unraveled. Lily panicked. She didn't scream. She didn't run. She did what she does when her brain is overloaded. She froze, then reflexively stepped sideways, trying to escape the pressure. Sideways, toward the railing. Time slowed. I lunged forward, grabbing Lily's backpack strap with one hand while shielding her with my body. Karen stumbled back, shouting about assault and noncompliance. Her clipboard hit the ground again. People nearby stopped. A jogger. A couple walking their dog. 2 teens on bikes. "Back away from my child," I said, every word measured. Karen's face twisted. She almost fell because she wasn't being supervised properly, she snapped, pointing at me. "I should report this." I looked her straight in the eyes. "You already are," I said quietly. Karen didn't understand what I meant. "Not yet." She bent to pick up her clipboard and stepped forward again, her voice rising, accusing, performative. "This bridge is HOA regulated. Children like her shouldn't." She reached out again. That was the moment witnesses would later describe as the line she crossed. Karen placed her hand on Lily's arm and tried to pull her away from me, toward the opposite side of the bridge, ignoring the panic she was causing, ignoring my clear instructions to stop. Lily cried out then. A sharp, frightened sound. Her knees buckled. I pulled her fully into my arms. Enough, I said. Karen recoiled, then immediately raised her phone. He's threatening me. He's aggressive. The jogger shouted, "Lady, back off." The couple with the dog moved closer. One of the teens started recording. Karen doubled down. This child is a danger to herself. I was preventing an incident. I took a breath. Slow. Controlled. I knelt down with Lily, speaking softly, grounding her. Counting breaths. Counting fingers. She clung to my jacket, shaking. Around us, the bridge felt suddenly very small. Karen paced, talking loudly into her phone now. Yes, HOA enforcement. I have an incident with a disabled minor and an uncooperative parent. I stood up slowly. Do not touch my daughter again, I said. Sit down and wait. She laughed. You can't tell me what to do. That's when I did something she didn't expect. I took out my wallet. Not to flash anything. Not to threaten. Just to be ready. Sirens sounded faintly in the distance. Someone had already called for help. Karen's confidence flickered, just a little. What's your name? She demanded. I answered calmly. You'll get it soon enough. The patrol car arrived first. Then another. Officers stepped onto the bridge, scanning the scene. Karen rushed toward them. Thank God. This man assaulted me and endangered a disabled child. The officers looked at me. Then at Lily. Then at the witnesses already lining up to speak. I gently placed my hand on Lily's shoulder. Stay with me, I whispered. One officer approached. Sir, can you tell me what happened? I met his eyes. Of course, I said. But first, someone needs to take her phone. Karen's mouth fell open. Excuse me? The officer held out his hand. Ma'am. As her phone was taken, I straightened up. I'll give my statement, I said evenly. And then I'll make a call. The officer nodded. Who are you calling? I finally opened my wallet, just enough. I won't need to, I said. They already know. His eyes widened. And that was when Karen realized something was very, very wrong. The bridge felt different once the patrol cars arrived. Not louder, quieter. The kind of quiet that settles in when people realize this isn't a misunderstanding anymore. It's an incident. Karen stood rigid, arms crossed, eyes darting from officer to officer as if she could still control the narrative. Lily stayed pressed against my side, her breathing slowing as I counted softly with her. 1, 2, 3, the way we'd practiced 100 times. The first officer turned to the small crowd. I'll need statements, he said. Hands went up immediately. The jogger spoke first. She blocked the child's path and kept yelling. The kid was clearly overwhelmed. The couple with the dog nodded. She reached out and grabbed the girl's arm. The dad told her to stop multiple times. The teen with the bike lifted his phone. I recorded it. The whole thing. Karen scoffed loudly. Of course they'd side with him. None of them know HOA regulations. The officer raised a hand. Ma'am, please lower your voice. Karen bristled. I was preventing a safety hazard. That child was near the railing. I finally spoke again. Come. Even. Because you forced her there. The officer looked between us. Sir, can you explain what led up to this? I did, without drama. I explained Lily's autism. Her routine. The sudden confrontation. The repeated requests for space. The physical contact. I didn't raise my voice once. Karen interrupted repeatedly. He's exaggerating. I never touched her. The teen stepped forward. It's on video. Silence. The officer took the phone. Watched. Rewound. Watched again. His jaw tightened. Another patrol car arrived. Then a supervisor. Karen's posture changed. Less defiant. More defensive. I want to file a complaint, she said quickly. This man threatened me. The supervisor turned to me. Sir, do you wish to press charges? I looked down at Lily. She squeezed my hand once. Grounded. Present. Not yet, I said. I want this handled properly. Karen smirked just for a second, thinking she'd won something. She hadn't. The supervisor nodded. We'll separate everyone and continue statements. Karen was guided a few steps away. She protested loudly, demanding names, threatening reports, insisting on HOA authority. No one reacted. Witnesses continued to speak. Calm. Consistent. Clear. Then the question came. Sir, the supervisor said, do you have identification? I handed it over. He glanced at it, then looked again. His expression shifted. He stepped slightly to the side and made a call. Karen noticed. She straightened, craning her neck. What's going on? No one answered. A few minutes later, a black SUV pulled up near the bridge entrance. Two individuals stepped out, plain clothes, serious expressions. They didn't rush. They didn't speak loudly. They walked straight toward me. Karen laughed nervously. Oh, good. More people to hear my complaint. One of the men nodded respectfully at me. Sheriff. Karen's laughter stopped mid-breath. What? She said. The supervisor turned. Ma'am, this is County Sheriff Daniel Hayes. Karen's face drained of color. That's not, she shook her head. That's not relevant. The other man spoke calmly. It is when a minor with a documented disability is involved in a potential assault. Karen's voice rose. I was enforcing HOA rules. The supervisor held up a hand. HOA rules do not supersede state law, especially regarding child safety and disability protections. Karen took a step back. Then another. I want a lawyer, she said. That's wise, the supervisor replied. They asked me one final question. Would you like to file a formal complaint now? I looked at Lily again. She nodded once. Yes, I said. Karen began to cry, not tears of regret, but panic. This is ridiculous. I was just doing my job. One of the plainclothes officers spoke gently but firmly. Your job does not include touching a child. Karen was escorted away from the bridge to give her statement, this time without an audience. As they walked her off, parents from nearby buildings emerged, drawn by the sirens and commotion. Word spread quickly. Phones buzzed. Faces hardened. A woman approached me quietly. Thank you, she said. My son's autistic too. She's harassed us before. Another man nodded. She tried to fine us for our daughter's therapy van parking. Patterns emerged. By the time the scene cleared, the bridge was empty again except for Lily and me. We sat on a bench nearby. I gave her a bottle of water. She drank slowly. Did I do something wrong? She asked. No, I said immediately. You did everything right. She leaned into me. I didn't like her voice. I know, I said. Neither did I. Later that afternoon, my phone rang. Sheriff, the supervisor said, we've opened an investigation into the HOA's enforcement practices. Good, I replied. And, the board has requested a meeting. I smiled just a little. That can be arranged. The HOA meeting was scheduled for the following Tuesday evening. They called it an emergency session, but everyone in the neighborhood knew what that really meant: damage control. The community hall was full long before the meeting officially started. Parents stood along the walls. Some sat on the floor. Others whispered quietly, their phones still glowing with clips from the bridge incident that had already spread far beyond our neighborhood. Lily sat beside me in the front row. She didn't like crowded rooms, but she insisted on coming. "I want to see," she said softly. "So I know it's over." I squeezed her hand. "You're safe." The HOA board members filed in one by one, stiff and uncomfortable. Their confident smiles from past meetings were gone. The air felt heavier, more serious. Karen arrived last. No vest. No clipboard. She looked smaller somehow, shoulders hunched, eyes downcast, clutching a folder like it could protect her. When she saw Lily, she froze. For a moment, I thought she might actually apologize. She didn't. The meeting was called to order. The HOA president cleared his throat. "We're here to address a serious incident involving one of our enforcement officers and a minor." A murmur rippled through the room. The president continued, "After reviewing witness statements, video evidence, and police reports, we have." A hand went up in the back. "Before you continue," a parent said, standing, "how many complaints like this have been ignored?" Silence. Another parent stood. "She harassed my son for his noise-canceling headphones." A third voice joined. "She threatened fines because my daughter's therapy van parked too long." The room shifted. This wasn't about one incident anymore. The board exchanged nervous glances. I stood, not as a sheriff, not as an authority figure, but as a father. "My daughter is autistic," I said calmly. "She didn't need enforcement. She needed space." I gestured gently toward Lily. She stood beside me, heart pounding, but steady. Karen finally spoke, her voice thin. "I was trying to keep people safe." Lily looked at her. "You made it louder," she said quietly. "And louder hurts." That was it. Something broke in the room. The HOA president lowered his head. "Karen, based on the evidence, your actions violated both HOA policy and state disability protection laws." Karen's hands trembled. "I was just doing what I was told." "No," the president said. "You weren't." He turned to the room. "Effective immediately, Karen is removed from her position." Gasps. Applause. A few quiet cheers. But it didn't stop there. "The board is also suspending all enforcement activities pending an external review," he continued. "And we will be issuing a formal apology to the family involved." Karen sank into her chair. Lily exhaled. After the meeting, people approached us one by one. Parents thanked Lily. Some knelt to her eye level. Others simply nodded with quiet respect. A mother whispered, "You were brave." Lily shook her head. "I was scared," she said honestly. "That still counts," the woman replied. Outside, the night air felt lighter. Weeks passed. The investigation concluded. New disability training became mandatory for HOA staff. Policies were rewritten. Enforcement authority was reduced. A community advisory group made up of parents, educators, and disability advocates was formed. Karen never returned. One Saturday morning, Lily and I walked back to the bridge. She stopped halfway, just like before. But this time, she didn't count cars. She looked up at me. "Can we get the chocolate roll today?" I smiled. "Absolutely." As we walked on, the bridge didn't feel like a place of fear anymore. It felt like what it always should have been. Just a path forward.